click on record. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the winter solstice celebration. I think we all know each other, right? Do we want to do brief introductions?
I don't know Tabitha, but I'm Leslie Bohan. I am a member of ICIS and on the leadership committee, and I'm at the University of Richmond in ESL leadership, and that's in Virginia.
Hi, Leslie. So I'm at American University in DC. So not too far from you.
Yeah.
Hi, Tabitha. I don't know if we've met. I'm Jennifer LaCroix. I'm signing in from Boston, Massachusetts. It's so nice to meet you. And hello, everyone. I'm so sorry. I haven't seen anyone in a long time. And thank you, Barbara, for keeping me abreast.
I'm glad. It's my pleasure. Nicole?
Hi, I'm Nicole. I am right now in Costa Rica. But winter solstice has always played a special part in my heart. So even though it's not technically a huge thing down here, it's always nice. I actually told my husband, I said, we need to make chili tonight, even though it's that's always was one of the things that we would make. We would always have a big solstice party in Richmond, Virginia, and so yeah, so we're gonna do that.
Great.
That's so nice.
And I'm Barbara. I'm in Italy. Okay, and so I'm a kind of ICIS is my family. Okay, and so here I am.
Hello, I am Andrea Lipka. I am in Florida. I'm joining in from Pinellas Education Foundation, and I am also affiliated with University of Massachusetts Amherst. And I am with Barbara, the co-chair of ICIS TESOL. I know ICIS or ISIS, but I say ISIS, and that's a bad word. Probably it will be flagged. Hi, Nino.
Hello. I'm
Hi,
Nino
do you wanna...
Chachanidze from Georgia country. I'm working on the dissertation about the intercultural competence development at the secondary school level. And also I'm leading the TESOL affiliate in Georgia.
Very nice to meet you and see you. Nino has been an active member, right? You presented last Jennifer. Do I remember correct?
Once I presented in the
Okay.
introduction. Yes.
Good. Before we start, I just wanted to, I'm not gonna do the same spiel about the organization. Can you see my screen?
No.
No. Okay. Hopefully you can see the screen now.
Yes.
I wanted to let you know about our upcoming events. We are gonna have our first event on July 27th, and we are inviting TESOL professionals who work in Ukraine, whether in person or online, to share their stories. And the title of the Voices from the Classroom event is Teaching in the Time of War, Experiences of English Language Teachers and Students in Ukraine. So if you have any contacts that work in Ukraine in person or online, please share the call with them so that we can provide a platform to this event. We are going to have the first event on Friday, January 27th, and the second event is planned a week later. So it will be February the 3rd. because we have received more submissions that we have ever expected. So hope to see you all there. And today we wanted to talk about winter solstice, and we encouraged you all to share a short reading or a poem or music that you, or a memory that you have related to winter solstice. So if those of you who would like to share, please.
I could go first. So I have this winter solstice blessing that I had put on an index card, and I had carried it with me for a while, and it was in a book, but now I guess it might still be up in the United States. So I had to search for it, but I found it online. I found it on a website called Peaceful Parenting, and that was something that had guided me while my children were younger. And so here it is. The author is unknown. May you find peace in the promise of the solstice night, that each day forward is blessed with more light, that the cycle of nature, unbroken and true, brings faith to your soul and well-being to you. Rejoice in the darkness, in the silence find rest, and may the days that follow be abundantly blessed. I like this poem because so many times you think of dark as evil and bad and something to not want to be a part of. And this one is on the other side, in that take solace and use that time for silence and for darkness to reflect. So that is my blessing to you all.
Oh, thank you. Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you so much for reading that, Nicole. That's really lovely.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and Leslie, I'll share that. I have it written down, but I'll find it again online and share that with you.
And if it's okay for you, I'm going also to share a poem, but it's not about the solstice. It's because, it's linked to an anecdote. Last year, okay, on the 21st of December, I went to visit my son, who was still in Rome at the time. And there's a very nice bookshop, okay, Feltrinelli, called Of English Books. And so I went there and bought, I found a poet that I like very much. I also read one of the poems last time at TESOL, and the author is called Imtiaz Dhaka, and she's really Pakistani, okay, living in Scotland, married in Wales, okay, living now in London, okay, and flying from and to India. So extremely multicultural. And I found this book and I was so glad. And while we walked, I don't know how this could happen. While we were walking, okay, I lost it. I don't know how it happened. It just fell from, for me, and I lost it. And when I came home from, and I said, but where's the book? Where's the book? It's my book. It's my, I went back, and did all the street, okay, from the bookshop, okay, to the bus stop, and I found it. Someone was so kind, was on the 21st, so kind to put it on a kind of bench, okay, iron bench, and also kind of lifted it a little bit so you could see that. And so I was, I said, oh gosh, I found it. I found my son. I said, listen, I already found the book. He says, mommy, you are crazy. Okay, no, it's not me crazy. There was someone, on this, somehow, day, okay, that somehow saved the book, okay, for me. So I was really kind of happy about it, okay, and I cherish this book. And if it's okay for you, I'm reading it, okay. I'm reading a poem. Is that okay? And then I am putting on the chat. It's not about the 21st, but it's about Christmas Eve. So it's next Saturday. okay? And the question here is, who are we, okay? In the sense of who are the people, okay, being described metaphorically. And it's called Christmas Eve on the number 4. An unlikely collection this, shuffling onto the bus at Waterloo. 2 with overloaded rucksacks, dangerous only because they are clumsy and are unaware of old ladies toppling behind their bags. 1 with a suitcase of tumbled clothes, all black. No chance that anyone has packed the frankincense. No mirror here. On the bridge, a flock of skateboarders comes on board with talk of Max and Weasel, their butterflip and board slide, and the hope of a calf wrap. At the next stop, shoppers arrive bearing gifts in plastic bags with famous names in varied fonts, but no spice or gold for a king. More likely, bedroom slippers for a wife or scented candles for the bath. On a mobile phone, someone is asking about a child. This bus has no ambition. It is not following any star, only the route laid down from A to B, this far, no further. So passing St. Paul's, no one expects a choir of angels, and the bells are silent, saving themselves for midnight. If there is a virgin among us, it is hard to say. But delivered home, worrying perhaps at how we spend our money and our time, we take off our shoes to free our pulpy feet and kiss the one we love. We were not wise. We did not fall down and kneel in adoration, and yet we have been saved for this. We have been saved. So this is a poem, and the author is Imtiaz Dhaka, okay, great poetess. As I said, Pakistani in origin, and she says she's a Calvinist Muslim, okay, so kind of in between. Okay, thank you. And so, of course, we are compared to the holy kings, okay, going, somewhere sacred, but it's sacred for us, only for us. That's it. And I found it on the street again.
No, you didn't. Really? You found it on the street?
She said
Yes.
she said that it was
No, I lost
Go ahead,
it,
Barbara.
and someone, okay, it was
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so someone, saw it because it fell down from the back, and so I didn't notice, okay, till I came home, and I was so angry that I went back, okay, in the street. I said, I must find it, and there it was, like this, a present, put, on a bench, for me to recollect it. Amazing, amazing. On the 21st, the darkest day of the year. Okay.
That's so cool. It's meant to be.
I put it. I put the in the chat the text.
Good.
Okay, I also have a poem to share. This is by an American poet. Her name is Jane Kenyon. She lives in New Hampshire, which is the northeast region of the United States, so it's very cold. And I think she's a teacher educator, so I thought maybe we'd appreciate this from her perspective. It's called Frost Flowers. Sap withdraws from the upper reaches of maples. The squirrel digs deeper and deeper in the moss to bury the acorns that fall all around, distracting him. I'm out here in the dusk, tired from teaching, a little drunk, where the wild asters' last blossoms of the season straggle uphill. Frost flowers, I've heard them called. The white ones have yellow centers at first, later they darken to a rosy copper. They're mostly done. Then the blue ones come on. It's blue all around me now, though. The color has gone with the sun. My sarcasm wounded a student today after I heard him running down the stairs. There is no one at home but me, and I'm not at home. I'm up here on the hill, looking at the dark windows below. Let them be dark. Some large bird calls down mountain a cry, astonishingly loud, distressing. I was cruel to him. It is a bitter thing. The air is damp and cold, and by now I'm a little hungry. The squirrel is high in the oak, gone to his nest, and night has silenced the last loud rupture of the calm.
Wow. Wow.
Why did you choose that one, Jennifer? It sounds perfect for teachers.
I just really like her stuff. I have really had a rough year. You haven't really seen very much of me. I've been kind of in this abyss of teaching in a high school, which is so different from higher ed. I've spent my entire career in higher ed, except for the past year and a half where I've been in this high school, and it's just such a different rhythm and pacing. I have no autonomy. I cannot attend meetings. I can't go to webinars during the day. I'm very bound. So I'm exhausted. I come home and it's all I can do to make dinner and interact with my family. I can't check the TESOL website. I mean, I've been really kind of on my own for the past 9 months, which is why you haven't seen me so present. And on top of this, my father-in-law passed away this past month. And so in preparation for his celebration of life, which we've been working really hard on, he was a professor, a teacher, and we kind of went about academic perspectives in a very different way. We're both, I think he saw me as like a feminist and questions, what does it mean to be a feminist? And I said, women's rights are humans' rights. And he always kind of poo-pooed that. And he's an archaeologist, anthropologist, and just kind of, he's white, male, like grew up with a lot of privilege. And so we were often kind of butting heads over academic perspectives. I think he thought of some of my work as the softer side of science, what I do, because I do educational research. I'm interested in communication, right? What we're doing. And he thought that was kind of silly and not really pure science. And so we always had this tension, but as I'm preparing, now that he's passed on, I'm expected to read a poem. So I've been digging through all my poems, thinking what would be a good poem to read for him. We have some family members who are poets, so do I choose one of them, or I don't know. I haven't been able to find the one that will, I have a few more days to choose it, not much more. But anyhow, so I've been going through my poetry a lot. I've always collected poetry. I like poetry. I was a poet in my early 20s. Yeah, so it's just kind of fun to kind of revisit the different sides of myself right now. This time of year, I do a lot of deep reflection, and I'm kind of coming up for air. I'm on vacation this week and next, so I'm actually able to attend in the middle of the day this kind of event, which I'm so pleased to do. And just, yeah, I'm kind of, the solstice is about rebirth for me. I'm not afraid of the darkness either. I think the darkness brings light. Yeah, just, so poetry is interesting. So I just kind of stumbled upon it, to answer your question, a very roundabout way.
Just want to know if you mind sharing it. I would like to see it again. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Jane Kenyon. Okay.
Yeah, this is her book of poetry, and all of them are beautiful. I got this one at the Harvard bookstore, but you could get it anywhere online. But this one's from Harvard. I live down the street from Harvard, so I often go to their bookstore. I'll put it in the chat too.
Yeah, great. Thanks. I can go next. So I chose a poem that has been turned into a piece of music. And I thought I would share the brief poem as well as share the piece of music, and hopefully you'll be able to hear it. So I sing in our choir at church, and my sister is the music director. So, and she has been my music director and choir director since I was 13 years old. So, and my father sang also in the choir. So it's always been a family thing. I particularly love Christmas Eve. We go very late, for Christmas midnight. And since my family's always been very musical, it is a very special time because it's dark and quiet and peaceful, and there are a lot of candles. And so we are singing this really beautiful piece called by an American composer named Lauridsen. I don't know if you all have ever heard of him. I had never heard of him, but we're singing that piece, and it's quite beautiful. And it's about the solstice. And I'm going to, but I looked up what it actually is about because the words are sort of hard to understand. It's not really a religious song, but my sister doesn't care about that kind of stuff. She picks these things anyway. And so my father passed away last week. And this particular piece, I couldn't get it out of my head as soon as I found out last Wednesday that he had died. And so I kept playing the song over and over because it talks about peace. And so all the way to go to where everybody was gathering around him, I kept just playing this over and over and over in the car, over and over. And it really sort of helped me process a little bit, but I wanted to show you the words. And then I found out this morning, as I said, okay, this is what I'm choosing for our solstice gathering. I found out what it actually is supposed to. Thank you very much. No, thank you. So let me share the words with you. So this is, maybe you all are familiar with it, but anyway, it's by a poet named James Agee. I don't know if y'all know this. And it's sure on this shiny night of star-made shadows round, kindness must watch for me this side the ground. And so what this part means, it's sort of hard to understand, but what this part means is that kindness has been something that has followed this person for this person's life. And then the late year lies down the north, all is healed, all is health, which I love for winter solstice, that idea of healed and health, and that high summer holds the earth and hearts are all whole. And Jennifer, that goes back to what you were talking about in yours. And then sure on this shiny night, I weep for wonder, wandering far alone of shadows on the stars. And so then this morning I looked up this, what does it mean? Because it's very touching, but I sort of don't understand it. And it wrote, and I found this, it says, the poem is written from the perspective of an older man walking outside on a summer night, reflecting back on his life. The reflection at the end of the man's life encompasses the idea that even through the darkest times in life, there is still kindness in the world. And I thought, oh my gosh, how appropriate is that this is actually about an older person reflecting back on his life, and that this had meant so much to me as we're singing it. So of course we're singing it Christmas Eve. So I would like to play this piece for you. I hope that you'll be able to hear it. It's about 5 minutes long. Is that okay? Okay. All right. So let me see if I can, and will you all tell me if you can hear it? Let's see. So I need to share the sound.
Yes, you have to share both the sound and the video.
Okay, so I just did. Can you give me a thumbs up if you can hear it?
Yes.
Can you hear it? Okay. Is it okay? So that's it. I hope you could hear it. I'm going to send you this text and the link. So if you couldn't hear it very well, you could listen on your own, I guess. Let's see. Okay.
Thanks for sharing, Leslie. I liked the visual and the audio. It was just such a journey for us. Thank you.
I'm sorry for the loss of your father-in-law, Jennifer.
Thanks. I'm sorry for the loss of your dad. We're in this
Thanks.
together, so big hugs.
Yeah, and we're preparing the memorial service for after, for the new year. So yeah, I know what you're hectic trying to get everything together. So
Yeah, totally. Any more poems or thoughts on what we do during the solstice for people who are just joining? Sherry and Judy, welcome.
So I have some.
music, but I would like to break it up. So Tabitha, please.
Yeah, thank you. So what came to mind for me is a piece of paper that I used to have like stuck above my desk. And I don't even totally recall where I got it. I think it was like in a church bulletin from like an evening Vesper service, but I cut it out. And until I got a new desk, it was like right above like my Zoom screen, basically. But I really connected to this reading. And it's actually like it's a benediction or a blessing. I really connected to it at a stressful time in my life when I was writing my dissertation and feeling like the work would never be done, which I am grateful it is done. But I think that's something that many of us feel around this time of year. There are so many things to do, the end of the semester, preparing for the holidays. And this reading just helps me to remember to let go of the many things to do and just try to be present. So I used to try to read it at the end of every day. It's like my shutdown time. But so it's called Bell at the Fall of Eventide. Evening is at hand, a time for stillness. Let us be still in the presence of God and one another. What has been done has been done. What has not been done has not been done. Let it be. Evening is at hand, so let our fears of the darkness of the world and our lives rest. Let this night bring quiet. Let the quietness of your peace enfold us, all who are dear to us, and all who have no peace. The night heralds the dawn. Let us look expectantly to a new day, new joys, and new possibilities. So it's focused on evening and nighttime, but this is kind of the symbolic evening of the year. So as we prepare for a new year, I hope that we can all accept that what has been done, and what has not been done has not been done. Let it be, and look forward to a new year, new joys and new possibilities.
Thank you for thank you.
Yeah, thanks. And Leslie, I'll type it up in the chat. It's pretty brief.
Thank you. Okay, I will then share my it's a carol. I grew up in Romania, even though I am Hungarian. My closest friend usually dragged me to her village around Christmas time. So I don't have uplifting maybe memories about winter solstice. We kill pigs, so that's not uplifting. But I did see how people caroled in her village, and I found something to show you. So let me share it with you, and then I'll describe what I understand, and maybe you might see something different in this song. Okay. Share sound and optimize. Okay. And I will share the video after it's done. Okay.
Born from nature.
I should now unshare it. Okay. So this was a little bit different. That's why I tried to maybe show it in the last minute. But it's a dance that comes from the Ghetto Dacian origins, where people used to dress in like a bear. A long time ago, they used to have a live bear and bring the bear around, which obviously this is not possible anymore. And these are, I think, one of the few remnants of the Ghetto Dacian culture that you can see in very remote villages in Romania. It's typically in Bukovina, Moldova region, but it also goes back to some of the ideas that you mentioned through your poems, interestingly, to purify, to fertilize, to prepare for, I guess, a better year. And again, the bear in the Ghetto Dacian cult was deemed like a sacred animal. So let me just share the video below in the chat box. Does anybody have anything else to share?
Well, Andrea, may I ask you, did you say that that's a Romanian
It
tradition?
is.
Not
Yes.
Hungarian, that's a
No.
Romanian tradition. Okay.
Yeah, and that's why I can't really talk in depth because it's not my culture. But all I remember is that in Christmas, we would spend many days being outside, going from house to house and sing. So I would go with my friend. And then obviously I noticed similar dances where people were dressed in like a bear. Other parts of Romania, people dressed as goats. So they were wearing goat, whatever. And instead of the bear, the dance was about goats and the pipe tune.
And that
Barbara,
is
you are on mute.
Is that for winter solstice or is it for Christmas Eve? Winter solstice?
This is close to New Year's Eve. So that's, yeah. So it's not about solstice, and it's more toward the end of the year. So New Year's Eve around
renewal
that time.
In Slovenia too, there is a very similar tradition. Okay, they dance, okay, but they are kind of they're considered kind of half devils, okay, or something like that, okay. There is a kind of devilish inside, but it is to put away the malign spirits, okay, to catch them out, okay, somehow, no, to send them out, okay. And they were kind of also with these bells, etc., doing this. So it is put the darkness away, put the malign, as I say, spirits, ghosts or whatever, okay, away. And they, traveled from village to village, okay, also singing and dancing. Very, very similar. Not exactly the same, but very similar.
Sherry, Judy, Amina, do you have anything to share with us?
Hi everyone.
Hi.
Sorry, I am laying down, so I prefer not to put the camera.
Oh,
I
no
am
worries.
fascinated with what you shared with us. I keep thinking about any winter festival, if there is anything in Algeria or North Africa, but I think it's a winter thing. We do have 4 seasons back home in Algeria. But I can't think of any festival really. So I think it's a northern tendency. So yeah, I'm just sitting back, relaxing, and listening to you ladies. Thank you for sharing with us, really.
Hi guys, how are you? So I guess that we're sharing something about the holiday.
It
So
could be a
anyway, I was
memory, it
listening to
could be anything.
Leslie's thing and I was like, oh my God, it reminded me just as we were going into the lockdown, there was this festival in Edinburgh for Hogmanay. And it's on YouTube. It's like 4 minutes. Would you like to see it? It's kind of cool. All right. I have share rights, right? Okay. Oh, you have to give me share rights, Andrea. You know how to do that?
Leslie, I am, as a co-host, I can't give her rights.
Well, what you do is you go into the security tab and just say the participants have the right to.
Yeah,
It's done. It's done.
Ah, okay. So I'm gonna. Hold on. Oops, sorry. You don't want to see a what? Okay. Oops. It's a farewell.
The 1,000 different blethers o' the air translate in the world's winds. We can all hear, if we listen, that we are all other in one way or another.
As yon moon is a loved, familiar face, and all that keeps us separate is space. There are seeds on the air, which will be trees, choreography on the air, danced by bees.
As old licht made braw by 1 billion stars, the pure white of Venus and the red of Mars.
The air stirs its accents in a salty broth the earth a table, and the sky a cloth. Aboon the clouds there are craws on the wing, on the air, and they are flying to sing.
3 craws flying frae the song of today, the song of despair or anxiety, awa frae the year 2020, calling it to send it after the past, at last.
We swing around and turn to the day. We give thanks for solidarity, wrap parcels to food banks, clap our horns frae balconies for the gift o' nurses.
And folk sing the world over, blending the atmosphere. Music reaching out to bless the air. And now we ken our neighbours' names.
A grandfather cries his wife's name out loud, and a grandmother faces tomorrow. We send emojis through the ether to weather the storm, together, alone.
And wave frae Zoom rooms here and there, silence in the air, weddings cancelled, despair, funerals with nobody there. All the birds fly frae the purifying air. All the birds fly to the nearly new year.
Na chean fat the ske o sciúr gan air. Na chean fat the ske can bblian chabhór úr.
All the birds fly frae the purifying air. All the birds fly to the nearly new year.
So I just thought, I mean, when this came out, it was one of the most beautiful things I had ever seen. And it's all done actually live with drones. And it was 2 parts that they had, and then they repeated it in 2021. But
Wonderful.
it's such a beautiful message of hope and love and belief that things will be better. And I just love that one. It was a beautiful poem. And anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you.
I like the theme of renewal in a lot of these, a lot of the messages, peace and renewal and starting fresh.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's wonderful to say what is done is done. Okay, Nicole's poem. Tomorrow is another day. That's it.
Well, with that being said, do we have any final words? I want to thank you to the ISIS Soul team and family for your support. You have been amazing. I have seen you almost in every event. So thank you so much. Thank you for sharing and thank you for being here. And we are going to see you at our future events. As I mentioned earlier, our next event is January 27th. Is that correct? Correct me if I am wrong.
I just want to make sure that Nino did not want to have anything she needed to.
Yes, absolutely. Nino, do you have anything
did you-
to share?
Before we, I think she did
You
not.
are asking me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. No, I'm just watching. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for wonderful videos and poems. I'm
Great.
copying the links and the tags and going to use them in the classroom.
Absolutely. Feel free to share. So the event, the Voices from the Classroom talks will be held, the first one on Friday, January 27th at 12 o'clock. I am adding it also in the chat, and we look forward to seeing you all. Yes, Leslie.
May I just ask a question? Everything I think was shared in the chat. It would be nice to gather these points. I would, love for this just to be on the website if nobody objected for sharing these poems and the links. I think it would be interesting either to have it on our, we could put a little special thing in the newsletter just saying that these were some things that we shared for the winter solstice, or they could be saved for the next year's newsletter for the winter solstice.
Yes, I was
tribute.
thinking this that we can put it in the newsletter too.
But just some favorite memories and poems that people had.
I was trying to save the chat. For some reason, I am not allowed to, but maybe you can please share the chat, and then we can add the links to the newsletter.
Okay.
I did take some screenshots.
Save chat. Okay, I got it.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, really? Thank you, Sherry. Okay. Thank you for teaching me something new. It doesn't allow me. Yeah, it doesn't allow me. Well, anyway, as long as one of us has it, we will be able to. Yes, I do have. Okay, save the chat. Okay, so I will be able to share it with Amina and Han, and they will be adding it to the newsletter. Okay. Thank you all, and hope to see you next year.
Thank you. This was so nice. Happy New Year.
It was nice.
Happy
Very
New
nice.
Year.
Happy solstice.
Happy New Year, guys.
Thanks
I'll talk to you
everybody.
guys soon.
Yes, bye.
Bye.